you identify this document? Of course.
This doesn't look like anything that I've seen.
Okay. And we'll just look here at the cover here. It's got your name on it, right?
Right.
Okay. And you don't believe that you ever received this document, is that fair?
Not this particular document. I've seen some things, the verbiage that's in here, some of it. I've seen in perhaps another document. I couldn't swear that I've seen this particular document.
Okay. What other documents did you see that contain verbiage similar to this document?
I've seen a document that would indicate that Miss Folaron had a case.
Okay.
But all of this stuff in here, all of this detail, and the damages in all of this, I've not seen this.
Do you read all your emails?
I try to.
Okay, so that's not all, but did you read most of your emails?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, this,
Have you ever discussed this claim of Teresa Folaron's with any other board member?
no. I don't know anything about it.
Okay. And so sitting here today as the board president, you're telling us that you don't know anything about the Teresa Folaron case against Milwaukee Public Schools. Is that fair?
That is fair.
Okay. Are you going to take any steps after today to find out about the Teresa Folaron case with MPS?
I would leave that in the hand of our attorneys.
Okay. So it's fair to say that because you don't know anything about the Teresa Folaron case, you've never discussed the Teresa Folaron case with any attorneys, right?
I have not. I'm not familiar with her case at all.
Okay. Now you told us previously that some 3 weeks ago you were asked to to sit for this deposition, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you also told us that back in October you were asked, notified that there was a deposition, but you were never asked to actually schedule a deposition, right?
Right.
Okay. So when you first found out back in October, what steps between then and today did you take to investigate the Teresa Folaron claims?
No, I didn't take any.
Why not?
Because the deposition had nothing to do with her case, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, and how did you come to that conclusion?
Because, first of all, like I said, I wasn't familiar with her case. And secondly, the deposition had nothing to do, to my knowledge, it had nothing to do with Folaron at all.
What does that mean?
Simply that I didn't know that my deposition had anything to do with the Folaron case in terms of my seeking knowledge and that type of thing. I wasn't aware until I got the deposition and it had Folaron on there.
Okay, I appreciate that.
We're going back on the record. The time is 10:20 a.m. This is the beginning of Media Unit 2.
Okay. So just going back a second, you were testifying that you didn't have any knowledge of the Teresa Folaron matter prior to hearing about the depositions for this case, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm going to direct your attention to an affidavit that you wrote for Mr. Reardon with regard to a protective order for Mr. Peterson. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, and that you had a document notarized for this case back then in May, right?
I don't know if it were me or not.
Okay, but you'll agree with me that was before October.
Check the form, Christmas, broad and vague, also calls for speculation. Go ahead and answer.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the dates.
Okay, well, do you believe that it was before or after October?
Same objections.
I'm not sure.
Okay. And you were at the service for Bob Peterson for his subpoena in this matter, right? You were present when he was served, isn't that correct?
I don't know. I don't know. What I observed was somebody running up to him in the parking lot, or not the parking lot, the entrance to the building, if that's what you're talking about.
Okay. And do you recall if that was before or after October of this year?
Same objections. broad
I
and
don't
vague,
remember
calls for
the date.
speculation.
Okay. The date, we'll put that aside for a second. Can you tell me if it's before or after October, please?
Same objections, and it's been asked and answered repeatedly. Go ahead and answer.
I don't remember the date.
Okay. And did you speak with an attorney prior to signing that affidavit?
Of course, we made the connection, you know.
Okay. What does that mean, you made the connection?
Well, I was contacted and I presented that document.
Okay. And so when I read on your document here, there is signed by you, Marva Herndon, and then it is notarized by Christopher Reardon. Do you recall that happening? Okay. Was he present?
You gotta say yes.
Yes,
Okay. Was he present when you signed this document?
yes,
Okay. In the same room as you?
yes.
Okay. Did you go to his office or he come to you?
We handle most of that at central office, so,
So he came to you?
yeah.
Okay. And then I'm reading the date of that he notarized this on the 15th of May 2023. Does that sound right to you?
Why don't you
That
show
would
her the
be-
document?
That would be the date that I wrote it, I put it on there.
Okay. And so you don't believe that, you don't have any reason to disagree with the date, the 15th of May 2000?
Right.
Okay. So what steps between when you signed this affidavit in the presence of Mr. Reardon and today did you take to investigate the claims by Teresa Folaron?
I didn't,
Okay, why not?
because it wasn't anything that I needed to be involved with. It was a court case being handled by our attorneys, not me.
Okay, so you don't even have to, you don't feel as the president of the school board, and you were the president of the school board in May of 2023, right?
For a few days, I would say so.
Okay, great. So, and I think this is very serious here. Do you think that as president of the school board that you had any responsibility to be aware of suits against Milwaukee Public Schools while you're the president of the school board?
Check the form, questions, broad and vague. Go ahead and answer if you can.
I'm sorry, if you answered, I didn't hear a response.
No, I didn't answer.
Okay.
printing it out right now.
So I've asked the question, are we waiting for your answer, or where are we at with that?
Why don't you
No, I
repeat-
was waiting on you.
Ah,
Why don't you
okay.
repeat the question?
We'll have that done, no problem. If you please repeat the question.
Do you think that as president of the school board that you had any responsibility to be aware of suits against Milwaukee Public Schools while you're the president of the school board?
Check the form question, broad and big. Go ahead and answer if you can.
I would say that as board president, I get a notification perhaps at some point. I'm not an attorney, and it's not my responsibility to interfere in legal cases. That's what we are in for.
And what do you mean by interfere in legal cases?
Because if I were running back and forth between, on say any case, personnel matters, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a representative of the EEOC or any of that. And I defer to the attorneys to take care of those things.
So while you're president of the school board, it's fair to say that the attorneys are the ones making the decisions for MPS. Is that right?
That is not.
Check the form questions, broad and big. Go ahead and answer if you can.
It is not. What I'm saying is that when it comes to legal cases, it is not the president's responsibility to interfere with that process.
Okay. Is it the president's responsibility to direct the process?
Check the form questions, broad and
I
big.
don't know what you mean.
Okay. What would be helpful what more do you need to answer that question?
It calls for speculation. Why don't you give her a question she can respond to?
It is too vague for me, really, because what I'm saying is that the attorneys are hired to handle these cases. Board members, board directors, board presidents aren't necessarily attorneys, and I'm definitely not one. And I would not interfere with their handling of a legal case.
Okay. So with keeping that response in mind, is it then also true to say that you're not directing the attorneys with regard to legal cases?
Check the form questions, broad and big. Go ahead and answer.
What? I'm not an attorney.
Okay. I understand. Is that a yes answer or a no answer or something else?
Directing them how?
Any way you'd like to tell me.
Check the form questions, broad and big. Go ahead.
It's broad. I'm answering the question as to my involvement with the attorneys and legal cases.
Okay. So, again, you've never said as school board president to an attorney, I want more information.
It depends.
Okay? Great. Give me some examples when you've done that, please.
When I'm working on a project, if I'm working on a specific project that I need some information on, then of course, that doesn't mean that that's a legal case.
Great. We're just not talking about projects. We're talking about legal cases.
And
So-
I'm saying when it comes to legal cases,
Mhm.
that is not the case. A legal case, you're paying them and turn the responsibility of the court cases to them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So, as the school board president, just to be clear, you've never asked an attorney working for Milwaukee Public Schools to give you additional information. True?
Are you speaking of a case such as these that we have on the table?
Or any others?
I'm saying that I do confer with the attorneys on the projects. We have all sorts of projects that require guidance, if you will.
Okay, but not
They don't need
cases.
my guidance on a case.
Okay, so you don't ask for more information on any cases involving MPS while you're school board president, correct?
On cases that are in court, I don't know what the legal term for it is.
Okay, have you ever directed an attorney working for MPS to settle a lawsuit as school board president?
No,
Why not?
it hasn't come before me.
Okay. Do you believe, as school board president, that you would be able to put forth a motion to resolve Teresa Folaron's legal complaint?
I'm going to object to the form of the question is broad and vague. It's also irrelevant, and I think it gets into the policies and procedures of the board. And again, this is part of the protective order that we filed. I'm going to instruct her not to answer that question.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. Question, okay, do you believe as school board president that you would be able to put forth a motion to resolve Teresa Folaron's legal complaints?
Are you refusing to answer that question?
I am refusing to answer that question.
Okay. And you're doing so on the advice of Mr. Reardon, correct?
I'm doing so on the advice of Mr. Reardon and the fact that that would be against the policies and procedures of board directors to make such a commitment.
Please identify such a policy or procedure.
At the present time, I cannot. I don't have the policies and procedures before me, but they're extensive.
Why do you believe that settling Teresa Folaron's case would be a violation of a policy or procedure at MPS?
I didn't say that.
I was going to say I'm going to object. First question is broad and vague, and you misstated her testimony again.
Okay, why do you think putting forth a resolution to resolve Teresa Folaron's case is beyond the powers of, against the policy or procedure?
Because, first of all, I'm interfering with the law firm's work for us. In other words, I'm making a decision of which one I have no authority to do so, and so I will not do that. We are a board, and the board has to vote on these things as a whole.
Sure.
Not for me to sit here and go out on a limb and tell you what I will and will not put forth.
My question to you was simply this. Do you believe that as school board president, you have the ability to put forth, meaning to say, make a resolution to solve or resolve Teresa Folaron's case?
And I would say, I do not have that ability. I know nothing about the case.
Okay.